Kajal Mehra this side from TimesTech, and today we are with Morgan Zimmermann, CEO, NETVIBES of Dassault System. Hi, Morgan.
Hello.
I welcome you to our video interaction, and I would request you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Sure. So my name is Morgan Zimmermann. I am the CEO of NETVIBES at Dassault Systemes. So within 3D experience, I run, everything that is data and AI related.
Okay, so moving ahead to the Q&A session, and my first question for you today is that how are AI and data sciences reshaping end-to-end industrial workflows from new product development to manufacturing and supply chain optimization, and what unique role does NetVibes play in this transformation?
Sure. So, many of our customers across industries are facing, new challenges. Automotive manufacturer, they have to compress time to develop new car program faster, than the Chinese are actually doing.
Yes.
Every industries are facing supply chain disruption, with the tariffs these days, with raw material costs earlier, with shortages the day before. These are just few examples of the business challenges that we are tackling with virtual twin experience powered by generative experiences.
Okay. So Indian industries are rapidly advancing in their digital transformation journeys. What key sectors in India are NetVibes actively engaged with, and how are these sectors leveraging data intelligence to boost agility and competitiveness?
So if you look at India, we have major customers in the manufacturing sector, starting with companies like Mahindra as an example,
Okay.
or in the infrastructure sector with companies like L&T Hydrocarbon. If I look at what we do for these customers, somehow there are four main types of problems that we are tackling.
Okay.
Problem number one is compressing time. It looks simple to compress time. It's very difficult to compress time.
Yes.
How do you introduce a new car program quicker? How do you secure that you deliver an infrastructure program on time, on schedule, while synchronizing, engineering, constructions, or procurement processes?
Exactly.
So we do lots of analytics for managing time, program management, understanding what's happening on the program. This is the area number one.
Okay.
Area number two is product development intelligence. When someone is designing something, there is a simple question we could ask ourselves. Okay. How much time does it take an engineer to understand the impact of a change request? It looks like a super simple question, but when you want to really know what's the impact of a change request, understand all of the requirements that are impacted, all of the tests that are impacted, all of the costs that are impacted, the reality is that if the answer to this question is taking more than 1 second, then you actually have a problem, because it means that people will not understand the impact of what they do when they will take the decision. So this is the second problem we solve. And of course, I'm taking change as an example, but you could simplify it as well and say, how much time does it take an engineer to understand the impact of a design decision on weight, on cost, or on sustainability? Again, if it takes more than 1 second, it actually means that the impact will not be taken care as it should in the design decision. So we call that product development intelligence. Then we do value network. So value network is our name for supply chain. Yes. We call it value network because, with the new world, we believe it's not anymore about supplier buyer relationship. We're changing the perimeter, so we call that value network. Okay. But in that space, our topic is, can we learn from all of the data that we have to reduce cost? Can we learn from all of the data that we have to manage supply chain disruption? These are examples. And the number four is assets in operation. Okay. And I can do one of our emblematic examples is we do the predictive maintenance of the Rafale fighter, leveraging all of the data generated by the aircraft, all of the maintenance history data, all of the design data, all of the manufacturing data, to enhance the way we are managing, operating, maintaining, these aircraft. This is the fourth area.
Okay. NetVibes offer real-time, actionable intelligence through unified data platforms. Could you share specific success stories or impactful deployments in industries like automotive, aerospace, or life sciences that illustrate its value?
Sure. So maybe I need to start by going backwards a little bit. with 3D experience platform, what we do is we do virtual twin experiences.
Okay.
I think it's important to remember what virtual twin experience stands for. Virtual twin experience is about putting in one place three things. One is the most advanced representation of the product itself, or the factory, or the company. Of course, it can be 3D, but that can actually be system models or ontologies, so models. Two is all of the data that we can capture in the real world, cost data, corrosion data, quality data, issue data. And three is the people and the processes. To do a simple analogy, model and data, that's like Google Maps.
Okay.
If I give you an Excel spreadsheet with location of flower shop and another Excel spreadsheet with location of restaurants, and I ask you to find a restaurant nearby a flower shop, it's difficult. If it's on the map, it is simple. Now we do the same. Think about an aircraft. If you have corrosion data, cost data, simulation data coming from different systems, they're difficult to interpret. But as soon as they're projected on the virtual model of the aircraft, they are contextualized by nature. And then the human and the processes, this is about making sure that you can take actions without ever sending an email. So that's virtual twin experience. That's statement number one. Okay. And with that, we're doing lots of quality optimization, cost optimization, program planning optimization, in many industries. Now we have introduced, at the beginning of the year, two things. We have introduced Generation 7, and we have introduced the concept of 3D universes. Okay. 3D universes, it's about combining multiple virtual twin experiences, multiple abstraction of representation. And I'll take a simple example. If you want to deal with the tariffs, what's the impact of the tariffs? You need to understand how the product is designed, because you need to know each component that comes into the product. You need to have the virtual twin, so you need the virtual twin of the product. But you also need to have the virtual twin of the production system. Okay. Where is this product manufactured? You need the virtual twin of the value network, the supply chain. What is it that we buy from whom? That goes into which factory to end up into which specific car configuration, as an example. So you need multiple abstraction, and this is what we call a universe. Okay. This is a very good example of to finally give an answer to your question. Okay. This is a good example of one of the business problems we solve for our customer. When they're facing new supply chain anomaly, like raw material costs, or like shortages, or like tariffs, when they want to understand the impact of that anomaly at the budget scale, at the production scale, at the product scale, at the supplier scale, or at the part scale, they do that with us. And then, of course, when they want to find mitigation points, optimization points, they also do that with 3D experience. Okay.
So as a leader, deeply involved in evolution of data intelligence, how do you see the role of virtual twin experience expanding in helping businesses create more sustainable and human-centric innovations?
The virtual twin experience is essential in tackling what we can do with all of the data from our customers. And here, maybe I can do one specific off-track comment. We talk a lot about generative experience. Yeah. That's our own vocabulary. When we introduced Generation 7, we didn't say we're going to do AI. We said we were going to do generative experiences, and we said we didn't going to do agent. We will do virtual companion. And I think it's important to understand what we mean by that. Exactly. Generative experience, it's about combining two things: data science, what people typically call AI, and science, the laws of physics, for two reasons. The reason number one is science, the word of representation, is providing the abstraction, the projection system that allows to understand and interpret all of this data. Remember the example I gave you about Google Maps?
Yes.
Typically, when you want to do AI, you need to find a way to map the data together, to normalize the data so you can do AI. We do that by projecting the data on the virtual twin. So as soon as all of the data are projected on the twin, we have a normalized way of looking at the data, which means we can do AI at any scale. That's point number one. Point number two, in the world of AI, it's quite funny, but the biggest problem of the guys in the Silicon Valley these days is the lack of data.
Okay.
You might have not realized, but they have learned on the entire web.
Okay.
But now the web is shrinking. Why the web is shrinking? The web is shrinking because people like you are realizing that there is value in the content you put on the internet, and you are restricting them from using it without paying it to do their massive learning. So the content is shrinking. Now, why do I say that? Because in the virtual world, we can generate data, which we call synthetic data, for products that don't even exist yet. So we can generate with physically realistic data of products that don't exist or usage conditions that we typically don't face. So we can generate our own data, synthetic data, to fuel our AI and learning processes. And finally, we are using what-if scenario, modeling and simulation, to do what-if scenario. So if I do predictive maintenance as an example, I can use modeling and simulation to compute what's the impact if I change a material. What's the impact if I change a design in terms of this typical problem that I'm going to face? So Generation 7 is about introduction of 3D universes, which is a combination of multiple virtual twin experiences. The virtual twin experiences are leveraging generative experience, which means AI, but combining modeling and simulation, science, and data science. And this is made available to the users in many forms. One of them, which we think is interesting, we call it virtual companion. We don't call it agent. We call it, and we are very big on semantic at Dassault Systemes, and I am personally very big on semantic. It's interesting to understand, in French, the word compagnon, it has 3 meanings. Meaning number 1, it's the craftsman expert. If you go into the manufacturing plants of watches, it's not the blue collar that are working on it. They are called a compagnon. They are craftsman experts. Same in some aerospace plant. So that's signification number 1. The compagnon is also a friend. You're my compagnon. You're my friend. Yes. And the third one is it's a guy part of a community. The virtual companion has definitely these meanings. So we are introducing in all of our applications twin native virtual companion that are capable of interacting with the user, sharing with him all of the industry knowledge, sharing with him as well how to best use our own software, and capable of doing part of the work along with him in the application. So it's a long answer to your. It's a long answer to your question. I am sorry.
No, it's completely okay. So my last question is that with the explosion of data and the increasing demand for transparency, speed, and accuracy, how is NETVIBES evolving to stay ahead of the curve in empowering business decision makers with holistic real-time insights?
So I've already given a number of comments that tackle this question, but I think the few things that are important to keep in mind is you might have realized we are going heavy on SaaS. Yes. For a few reasons. Reason number 1 is the SaaS is providing our customer with low code, no code, extreme low code, no code configurability. And when it comes to facing new challenges, I talked about the tariff challenge earlier. Yes. I'll stay on this as an illustration. When we talk to our customer on their supply chain anomaly, speed is everything. Why speed is everything? Speed is everything because if you have a shortage on a rare material, the first one that will place the order to the very few that have this material available will be the winners. So you need to understand very quickly what is the scale of your problem so you can actually place the right order before the others. So speed is everything. But to get this level of speed on non-anticipated question, you need extreme ability to configure very quickly how you look at your own data. And we are powering that with low-code, no-code SaaS capabilities. On the SaaS, you need to be able to scale it in an elastic manner. You may want to run massive AI programs within the next couple hours. You cannot wait that your IT is providing, the CPU or the GPU so you can actually do it. The SaaS is offering that. And finally, the SaaS is offering the whole of that in a sovereign, secured environment, which means that not only we can scale it, but we can scale it while respecting, all of the critical sovereignty and IP security challenges. And I can tell you all of the topic we discussed today, whether design efficiency, speed at which we introduce new product developments while using AI across companies that can have thousands of people across the world. If you do not respect the IP of the customers, which is our most important single topic, then so that's at the core of everything.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for your time and responses, and thank you so much for watching us.
Thank you.